Meryl Streep's perfect Hollywood love story wasn't what it seemed. For years, she and Don Gummer were hailed as one of the industry's strongest, most enduring couples, a rare, drama-free marriage in the chaotic world of celebrity relationships. But behind that flawless facade lay mounting tensions, driven by Meryl's unrelenting work schedule and lingering heartbreak from her past. Then, out of nowhere, came the shocking truth. They had been secretly separated for years. Why did they keep it hidden? And why did Meryl continue wearing her wedding ring even after the split? The reasons aren't as simple as you might think. From the shadow of a lost love to the constant glare of Hollywood's spotlight, the real story behind their quiet breakup is more surprising and more human than anyone could have imagined. For decades, Meryl Streep and Don Gummer seemed like the ultimate Hollywood anomaly, two people who genuinely loved each other and refused to let fame corrode their connection. Their marriage spanned an incredible 45 years, producing 4 children and countless red carpet appearances that hinted at a deep and enduring affection. In an industry obsessed with drama, Meryl and Don stood out precisely because they avoided it. There were no public spats or sensational headlines. Instead, Meryl would occasionally thank Don during award ceremonies, praising him for keeping her grounded through the roller coaster of her career. Meanwhile, Don remained mostly in the background, happily dedicated to his sculpting and content. To let Meryl command the spotlight, this peaceful, private existence convinced many that they had cracked the code to lasting Hollywood happiness. Even as Meryl's success soared, 3 Academy Award wins, 21 nominations, and a reputation as one of the greatest living actresses, her marriage stayed firmly intact, or so it seemed. Little did anyone suspect that behind this polished exterior, cracks had begun to form. For all the love and quiet devotion they displayed, something deeper was happening that would ultimately change everything. In October 2023, fans were left stunned by a sudden and unexpected announcement. Meryl Streep and Don Gummer had been separated for years. The public, accustomed to seeing them as a steadfast example of marital devotion, could hardly believe it. How could such a seemingly perfect couple keep something like this hidden for so long? It turned out that their decision to separate was not new. It had reportedly been in place for quite a while, possibly years, before the media caught wind. They had chosen to go about their lives quietly, respecting each other's space without turning their personal challenges into public fodder. The fact that Meryl continued to wear her wedding ring at high-profile events like the 2023 Princesa de Asturias Awards only fueled the mystery. Was she trying to maintain appearances for her own reasons, or was the ring a symbol of unresolved feelings? When a spokesperson finally confirmed the split, many questions arose. Why did they break up so quietly? Why would Meryl, who built her career on raw authenticity in her acting roles, opt for secrecy in her personal life? While no one from her camp elaborated on specifics, it quickly became apparent that their separation was a carefully considered choice, not a spur-of-the-moment decision. Their approach, low-key, respectful, free of public drama, was in line with how they had always conducted themselves as a couple. For those who idolized them as the perfect marriage, it was a revelation that even the strongest-looking bonds can fray under the weight of time, personal differences, and life's unexpected turns. The official narrative is simple. They grew apart. But in Hollywood, growing apart often conceals layers of unspoken pressures and personal crossroads. One factor may have been the sheer intensity of Meryl's ongoing career. Even in her 70s, she remains one of the most sought-after actresses, jumping from film to film and now venturing into high-profile TV projects like Only Murders in the Building. Don Gummer, in contrast, has always preferred a quieter life. Though respected in art circles for his minimalist sculptures, he never embraced the high-octane world of Hollywood events and networking. According to those who have observed them over the years, Meryl's constant travel, combined with Don's preference for solitude, might have slowly expanded the gulf between them. Another possible element. Their children, now adults, have forged their own lives and careers, leaving Meryl and Don with more time to focus on each other's differences. When you're raising kids, there's often a common goal that unites a couple, but once the nest empties, unresolved tensions can resurface. Finally, there's the reality that people evolve. Meryl may have harbored creative ambitions and personal growth goals that clashed with Don's more reclusive nature. While none of this was openly confirmed, the puzzle pieces hint at a marriage stretched to its limits by time, separate interests, and the inevitable changes that occur in a lifelong partnership. long before Dawn, there was John Cazale. He was Meryl's first great love, and their connection ran deeper than most people realize. Tragically, he was diagnosed with terminal lung cancer, and Meryl stayed by his side until his death in 1978. She was just in her late 20s, grappling with the mortality of the man she adored. In the wake of John's death, Meryl was left shattered. Those who knew her at the time said she struggled to move on, emotionally and psychologically, from that tremendous loss. Soon after John's passing, she met Dawn, and their relationship quickly turned into marriage, a turn of events that some interpreted as a way for Meryl to cope with her grief. Over the decades, John's memory remained a powerful presence in Meryl's life. She spoke rarely and reverently about him, hinting that his loss forever changed her. Did that lingering sense of heartbreak cast a long shadow over her marriage to Dawn? No one but Meryl truly knows, but many fans and media outlets have speculated that her enduring love for John might have shaped how she related to Dawn and possibly contributed to any emotional distance that developed over time. It's not that she didn't love Dawn. By most accounts, their marriage was filled with genuine affection and support. But the weight of an unresolved past can subtly influence any relationship, especially one as high-profile and demanding as Meryl's. It's possible that the ache of losing John remained an unspoken undercurrent, influencing the choices Meryl made and the emotional walls she built. Hollywood marriages are notoriously fragile. The constant travel, high-stakes career demands, unrelenting media scrutiny, and irregular hours place enormous strain on even the strongest relationships. For Meryl and Dawn, the pressures were magnified by her extraordinary success, from winning her first Oscar for Kramer vs. Kramer to subsequent triumphs in Sophie's Choice, The Iron Lady, and beyond. Meryl remained in a near-constant whirlwind of filming schedules, award shows, and media appearances. Although she cherished her family, there's no doubt that her commitments often pulled her away for months at a time. Dawn, for his part, seemed content with his sculpting career, which doesn't typically require the same intense public presence as acting. While Meryl might have been on location for a new film, Dawn was likely focusing on his studio work, his exhibitions, and his own sense of personal fulfillment. Over years, that kind of physical and emotional distance can take its toll. No matter how strong the couple's love is, interviews from Meryl's past allude to the delicate balancing act she tried to maintain. She openly admitted that compromise was essential to her marriage. Yet as her star continued to rise and roles became more demanding, was there enough compromise to go around? Or did one person inevitably have to sacrifice more, eventually sparking resentment or a slow fade of intimacy? Today, Meryl Streep shows no sign of slowing down. She's embraced streaming projects, such as her role in Only Murders in the Building, where she surprises fans with her wit and comedic timing. Critics still hail her as one of the greatest actresses of our time. She keeps taking on new challenges, whether it's a dramatic film or a cheeky cameo. Her artistic drive remains unstoppable. Don Gummer, meanwhile, remains as private as ever. He continues to produce sculptures that garner respect from art critics and gallery owners, yet he keeps a low personal profile. The Gummer children, Henry, Mamie, Grace, and Louise, are grown now, with some following in their mother's footsteps in the entertainment industry. While the separation of their parents was a surprise to the public, it's likely the family has known about it for quite some time and navigated the emotional terrain in private. Despite going their separate ways, Meryl and Dawn aren't embroiled in a dramatic feud. If anything, their bond seems to have evolved into a quiet respect. They share 4 decades of memories, countless shared goals, and a family that will always tie them together. They may no longer be romantically involved, but their history ensures they will remain part of each other's lives. In the end, Meryl Streep's story is a reminder that even the most revered couples can't outrun the complexities of human relationships. Time changes, people, priorities shift, old wounds linger, and new challenges emerge. Sometimes even a 45-year marriage quietly unravels under the weight of all these factors. Was their separation a natural progression of life, simply to people acknowledging they had grown apart? Or was there a deeper emotional undercurrent, shaped by Meryl's past love for John Cazale, coupled with the relentless demands of Hollywood fame? Perhaps it was all of the above, or something else entirely that only they can truly understand. What do you think? Were Meryl and Don simply victims of the same pressures that claim so many celebrity marriages? Or does the specter of John Cazale still play a role in how Meryl navigates love and partnership? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. For more of the latest content, check out this video.